Everybody said you don't have to be totally disabled to get Social Security, okay? You have to show that you're unable to or will be unable to engage in substantial gainful activity for 12 months or more. Now, what is the difference between line 1 and line 2? It sounds the same, right? It's not really the same, okay? Total disability is a concept that a lot of the medical people have, okay? And total disability is defined differently no matter what law you're looking at. It's defined differently. But most people think of total disability as bedbound, wheelchair-bound, unable to ambulate, okay? So that's why we don't use that concept in Social Security, because you all know friends who are getting Social Security who can get around, they can carry on some of their daily activities, but they can't work. And there's a big difference between total disability and being unable to work. Why would you be unable to work? Effects of medication, you can walk around, you can carry on daily activities, but you can't do the functions of a job. You're lacking manual dexterity. You can't deal with the temperature in rooms. A lot of reasons why you might be unable to work, but you're not totally disabled. So this phrase is not used in Social Security. And if anybody tells you you need to be totally disabled, they don't know what they're talking about, okay? Problem I run into, a lot of my clients come in, they say, my doctor won't support me. He said, I'm not totally disabled. And I start going through the factors, and they meet the listings, but the doctor doesn't know about the listings. Remember the listing I told you about? So their doctor doesn't know that they meet the listings. Their doctor says you're not totally disabled. But those listings that I told you about mean you're presumptively disabled. So a lot of times I get on the phone and argue with a doctor, you know, who says, your lawyers, you're just looking to make money. Okay, so we run into problems sometimes with doctors who don't want to listen what the benefits are about. Every benefit you apply for has a different definition. We're talking about Social Security. Forget total disability as a concept, okay? Promise me when you leave the room, you will not think about the words total disability. The reason I want to point that out is something very important to people with scleroderma. Words closed period. I have a lot of friends with scleroderma that I've made over the years that I've been involved. In fact, one of the attorneys in my office, his wife has scleroderma. And a friend of mine, many of you knew her, recently passed away from scleroderma. And as I kind of went through life with this person, who was very active in this organization, I would notice that she would have periods of exacerbation where she'd be out of work and really couldn't do much. She'd be very sick. And then she'd always bounce back. She'd bounce back, she'd go back to work. And I see that a lot with people with scleroderma. For whatever reason, it gets bad, it gets a little better, there's a new treatment or something. I want you all to remember the words closed period of disability. What that is simply a period of disability which has lasted 12 months or more. Remember I went through the duration requirement. I said it's a condition which has lasted or is expected to last 12 months. If you've been out of work, say 13 months, and now you go back to work, you should be applying for Social Security for the 13 months you were out for a closed period. If you were unable to work during that 13 months, you can get benefits. Okay, a lot of people don't know that, and they leave those benefits on the table. They think, well, I got to be disabled forever. Not true. So two of the things people tell you, you got to be totally disabled and it's got to be permanent. Neither one of them is true. Okay? It just has to be long term of 12 months or more, not permanent. You can have an impairment which is permanent and not be disabled permanently. You may always have the condition, but if it's in remission, it may not be disabling. It may have been disabling, but it may not be disabling at a given point in time. So remember that. Don't leave the money on the table. Even if you know you're going back to work, you know you're going to do well, if you're out more than 12 months, you better think about applying. Okay? Now, sometimes people, when they find out about this closed period, are back to work when someone says, well, didn't you get Social Security? Oh, no, I didn't get it. I guess I might as well forget about it. No, okay? Even if you're back to work, if you apply for benefits within 17 months of the commencement of that disability, not the impairment, the disability, because you may have had the impairment for many years, but from the disability, you're going to get full period of retroactive benefits for the period you were out, or if you're still disabled, you're going to get full benefits. Because an application is retroactive for up to 1 year from the time you apply. Problem is, there's a waiting period. The waiting period is 5 months following the month in which you become disabled. So unless you become disabled on the first of the month, let's say you become disabled January 3rd, your waiting period is February, March, April, May, and June, your benefits would commence in July. So if you were disabled in January of 2008, your benefits would commence in July of 2008. If in July of 2009 you applied, you would get full retroactivity. So if you didn't know about it, you're still not prejudiced. If you wait like 4 years, you're going to lose retroactive money. If you wait more than 17 months, you're starting to lose money. Okay? But usually by the 17th month, most people wake up.